Hey there everyone, what's up? This is Aram here, and today we are going to create Bootstrap 5 project. This Bootstrap 5 project has a landing page of a tourism company. I hope that you guys will like it. Let me give you the overview of this project. Here is a very simple Nav Bar, and I didn't use the typical Bootstrap code here in the Nav Bar. And this code is very simple, just a simple HTML and CSS code. Then in the hero section, we do have a video background with an overlay effect, join us button. Here is the packages section where you can see different packages with some discounts and some other categories of the company offering different packages or different categories regarding tourism. Then here we have a services section with the services they are offering, and the testimonial, it's a carousel we have used. It is working, it is functional, so it is working itself too. Then here is the contact form and some social links, a nice footer. It's a responsive landing page. Let me show you the responsiveness of this, and let me dock it. So okay, let me show you. You can see that here everything is stacked nicely. Then this is the nav bar, and it is working. Here is the title, some of the links, button, everything is looking nice. Okay, so let's go and start creating this page. And I'm using VS Code editor. I already created a folder. My folder name is Bootstrap 5 Tourism. Let me create a file inside it. The first file I want to create is index.html. Then I'm going to create main.css. And here in the index.html, what I'm going to do, here is a get bootstrapped.com website, and this is version 5. I just want to get the starter template from here. I want to copy it and let me paste it here. Fine, beautiful. Okay, after having this starter template, let's add a style sheet. So for style sheet, we need to link it. Link related to style sheet, href, and main.css. Then I would like to go with some font awesome icons, and here they are. Here is the website of font awesome icon, so fontawesome.com. You can search the icons from here, but before using these icons we need to link it. I always prefer to use the CDN. So I have my code here. You guys, what you have to do, just go to this start for free, mention your email address, follow the instructions, and you will get a code. The code will look like something. It will look like this. I do have mine. I just want to copy it and I want to paste it within the head section. Okay, so here it is. Fine. Let me save it. And I don't think that I need anything else. Okay, so I would like to change the title of this one. The title is gonna be Bootstrap 5 Tourism. Bootstrap 5. And or hold on, let me change tourism landing. I'm just adding landing page. Okay, I want to remove this hello world from here. Okay, let me save it, and by using my my server, I would like to check how does it look here. So we don't have anything, we have only the title. I've added this tourism landing page. Okay, Yes, I do need, let me close this one and this Bootstrap also. I do need the fonts, so I've already used the Railway font. You guys just search the Railway font from there, and I'm using the Railway font 400 and 600. Okay, so I just want to copy this from here and let me paste it in the head section here. I also need the CSS of this font, and here is Open Sans and Railway, so let me copy this one. Here we are, and here I should say, okay, let me save it, and I want to save it from here too. Just to check the font, let's write something here, okay, just for the font. So H1 and say Bootstrap 5 landing page. Save it. Here we go. Okay, so we do have a Railway font here. I just wanna close this one too. Okay, let's go back to the editor. Let me remove this one again, and let's start working. So I would like to go with the navigation and navigation or Nav Bar. So end of Nav Bar, navigation and Nav Bar. Let me add it here, Nav Bar. Okay, so here I would like to create a div, assigning it a class. It's gonna be nav. It's a simple one. I'm not using the typical Bootstrap nav here. Then let's use input, and the type is gonna be checkbox, and let me use an ID. This ID is gonna be nav check. Then let's use another div, and it has a class of nav header. Then let's use another div, assigning it a class, and this class is gonna be nav title. Then here we should add tourism, website tourism landing page, or let's see, tourism landing. Then after this, let's have another div. This div should have a class of nav button, so nav bdn. We do need a label here, and label for it's gonna be nav check. Let's use some span elements here. So span, and I'm gonna use it for a couple of times, so I'm just copying it. 2 and 3. Okay, and let's create the links. Okay, within this here, let's create links. So div class is gonna be nav links, not longs, nav links, and href. The first one is gonna be packages. Let me copy and paste it, then I'll change some of the titles, the link titles, and services, testimonial, and contact. So let me remove all these 3 from here, and this one is gonna be not all. Services. The second one is gonna be testimonial. Sorry, the third one. testimonial, and it's a testimonial. Okay, then I want to add contact. Okay, save it. Let's move on to the browser and see. Okay, you guys can see that it hasn't anything, it's just a simple HTML result. Let's give some style to this one. Before using the styles, let's go and create the hero section also. The hero section, or this main section, let's place this video, some titles and taglines, and this, or intro. Actually it's not a tagline, intro and the button. Okay, and then all together we will style them in CSS. So what I'm gonna do, after having this end of nav bar, let's say hero section, and end of the hero section. Now here, what I'm gonna do, I just want to create a section. I'm finding it a class. This class is gonna be section main banner, and let's have an ID. This ID is gonna be top. Let's use data section, and it's gonna be section 1. Then within this, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to add a video here, auto play, and mute it. If it has a sound, it's not gonna do anything. It should be muted. Loop, it has to work again and again. ID, and ID is gonna be BG, or background video. Okay, now here I need to add the source of the video. So for that, source, and again source. Here I would like to add the video link, and here in pexels.com, I'm gonna give this link in the description below. You guys can get the same video from here. And here in free download, I just want to copy the link address. Okay, copied the link address, paste it here, done. Now I want to add a type here, and the type is gonna be video, then MP4. Okay, then after this I have to add, the type is video MP4, and there is something, I think, which is something is missing from here. Let me check what is that. Let me close this tag. Okay, okay, the source, now it is closed. And then after, let's have another div here. It should have a class of, for the overlay effect, I would like to go with video overlay, and header text. This overlay and header text is gonna be, let me close this one too. So this overlay effect, there is an overlay on the video, and here is the text. So let me show you that I didn't save it, I think. Yep, let me save it. Let me show you from here what's going on, and it's loading. Okay, so here is the nav bar, and here is the video. Here the video is completely different, and I have used an overlay here, so I'm gonna use the same overlay here too. So for that, what I have to do, header text, and this header text overlay is for this overlay, and here is the header text is this welcome to site, and some of the description or detail or info or intro, whatever you want to say. Then the next thing after having this, we would like to go with a div and a class, and this class is gonna be container. Okay, and within this container another div, class is gonna be raw, and then after this let's have an other div with a class, and here it is. The class is gonna be column large 12. Then we need another div assigning it a class, and it's gonna be caption. Okay, only caption. Then we need heading 2, and the heading 2 is gonna be welcome to site. Okay, let's use a p element with some 15 words of text, and then after this, let me bring it here. Let's have something for the main button, and div assigning it a class. The class is gonna be main button. We will style this simple styling there in CSS, and for link of the button, or for the button link, long, I would like to add a link here, and it's gonna be join us now. Okay, then save it. Let's go back, see what's going on in the browser. Okay, fine. So now let's style each and everything in CSS, and you guys will see that how we change the look of this of all these two sections. Okay, for that I'm going to main.css. So here I would like to go with main button, the main button, or the button. I'm going to use the same main button class for, there is another button also, so I'm going to use it as a, or I'm going to use it globally, actually not as a, but I'm going to use it globally to apply the same style on the other button too. Okay, so let's go with the background color. The color I have used is black. The theme I have used here in this page, if you guys have noticed, is black and white. So you can see that it's black and white. I have tried to find a video where if I give the black look, black overlay, that looks much better, but I didn't find that. So I just used this one. If you guys find a better one, use that one. Okay, and here we are. Let's go back. Background is gonna be black, and color, text color, it's gonna be white. Then I would like to use the display. It is inline block, and I just want to use the padding. Padding is gonna be 6 pixels. Okay, save it. Then I have to move on. Hold on. Main button link, and here the color is gonna be white. Then I have to, the text decoration is, it's gonna be none. Let's use the nav now. Okay, and the nav has a height of 50 pixels. Then I would like to use the width. It's gonna be 100%. Let's use the background color, and 4D and 4D. Then I would like to go the position, define the position, and it's gonna be relative. and Z index, because when I was creating it, it was just behind the main behind the video, so I want to keep the nav bar on front of that, so to the hero section. That's why I'm using the Z index here. And let's use the display here. Display is gonna be flags. Display is gonna be flags, and let's use the justify content, and it should be space around. Let me check here. Space around. Let's save it. Move on to the browser, and okay, need to fix many other things. We'll do that. Let's go back. Okay, so after this, let's use the nav class and nav bar, sorry, nav header, and let's use something which is gonna be known as inline, not block, on the inline. And after having this inline, let me show you how it's gonna affect there. Can you guys see? Now the next thing we have to add is, let's see, nav, and it's gonna be nav header, then nav title, display inline block, and font size is gonna be 22 pixels. Then we do need to use the color white. Padding is gonna be 10 pixels and 10 pixels and 10 pixels, and then again 10 pixels. Save it. Move on to the browser. Fine, you guys can see the difference here. Now let's do another thing, and that other thing is, let me bring it here. The other thing is gonna be nav and nav btn, the Hamburger Menu, and it's gonna say display none. Okay, save it. Okay, then we do need something else, which is nav and nav links, display inline. I'm gonna use float here, and float right, font size 18 pixels. Let's use another nav, not another nav, another nav class here, and nav links, and we do have the links here, so we should say display inline block, and padding is gonna be 13 pixels, 10 pixels, again 13 pixels and 10 pixels. Then text decoration is gonna be none here too, and color is gonna be EF. Save it. Okay, it's not working. Let's check. Okay, we have to use nav check. Then it's nav and ID is nav check, display none. Hold on. Nav check, display none. Save it. Okay, getting better. Let's use another thing, which is gonna be nav and Nav Links, anchor point, hover, and hover is gonna be background. The color, let's use RGBA and 0.3, 0.0 and 0.3. Save it. Okay. Let's define some breakpoints, and here we have to say at max width it's gonna be 600 pixels, and nav button, nav btn, and nav btn is gonna display inline block. Let's use the position, it's gonna be absolute, right 0 pixels, top 0 pixel. Then we have to use something else. It's gonna be nav btn, label, display inline block, width is gonna be 50 pixels, height is also gonna be 50 pixels, padding, let's go with 13 pixels. Let's use nav and nav button, nav btn, and label, and then span element. Let's target all this. Here it's gonna say display, and this display is gonna be block. Width would be 25 pixels. Height would be 10 pixels. Border top is 2 pixels. Solid and white. Let's use nav and nav btn, label hover, and we do need to use the nav and nav check, and it's gonna be checked, and we should say nav BDN label, and the background color for this, let's use RGBA and 0, 0, 0, 0.3. Save it. Let's target the Nav Links. First of all, let's move on to the browser. Okay. You can see that we just work with the button. All the rest of the things are still here. So we need to work. Let's go back. And actually it's on 600 pixels. So okay, we'll fix and we'll check later on. Then after this, let's go and work with Nav Links. Nav Links. Nav Links have a position of absolute. Display gonna be block with 100%. Background is gonna be gray 333. Height would be 0 pixels. Transition, and this time all 0.3 seconds. Ease in, overflow hidden. Top is gonna be 50 pixels and left would be 0 pixels. Save it. Then we do need to use nav links. Display block, and width is gonna be 100%. Again, we need to use nav and nav checked, nav check not, and then let's see, checked. And we do need to have a nav links where we should see that height is gonna be 0 pixel. Let's use nav and nav check and checked. Nav links. Height is gonna be, I'm gonna use a calc function here, and 100 view height minus 50 pixels. Let's use the overflow. It's gonna be auto, okay, auto. Save it. Okay, let's check what we have done. Let me check here first, then we will. The Hamburger Menu is working. but there is a problem. We use the transition here, ease in, and we do have an issue here with these links. Let's see, we have made a mistake somewhere. Something it's about Nav Links. So we are okay here. So it's here, okay. Here we do have this issue, and it's Nav Links, not Nav Link. Save it. Okay, so the error we have made, we fixed it. So we do have a nice Nav bar, and if you guys want to increase the height of this Nav bar, you guys can do so. And here it's looking cool too. Okay, fine, good. Let's go back and start working with this banner. It's too much. Here we go, and let's have the comment for the hero section. Hero section, okay. The class we do have is main banner, and the main banner should have a position relative and then we need the maximum height. It's gonna be 100%. Overflow is gonna be hidden, and the margin bottom -7 pixels. Okay, save it. Move on to the browser. Okay, so you guys can see that now it is in the limit. The overflow is hidden and the height is 100%. Cool. We need to work. Now let's work with the video and background video. The ID we have. The minimum width is gonna be 100%. Let's use the height. Height is gonna be 100 view height. 100 view height, and after having the height, let's use the maximum width. The max width is gonna be 100%. Let's use the max height too, and it's gonna be 100 view height. Let's use the object fit, and we should say cover. Then you do need the Z index here. It's gonna be -1. Save it. Let's go back and see. Okay, now it's looking good. Before it covers the half of the page. Now it's looking good. Okay. Let's go and work with the, it should be video overlay. So we do have a class of video overlay where we do need to use the position, and the position is gonna be absolute. Let's use the background, and the background is gonna be RGBA. We have to use 31, 39, 43, and 0.7. Okay, I want a slight black and gray image. Black, it should be like this. Then let's go with the top. The top is gonna be 0. Left is also gonna be 0. Bottom and right is also gonna be 0. And then we do need to use the width. It's gonna be 100%. Let's save it, move on to the browser and see how it affects. So you guys can see that it is working. We do have the button and all the written stuff here, the text. So let's go and fix all these things too. So after having this, let's go and get the main caption, main banner, and we do have a caption class. So position is gonna be absolute. Top should be 50%, and transform is gonna be translate y. Hold on, translate y, and minus 50%. Save it, move on to the browser, and now you guys can see that the text moves here. Let's fix other things too. Okay, so we do need the main banner here, main banner, caption, heading 6, margin is gonna be margin top is gonna be 0 pixels, font size is 15 pixels, text transformation is gonna be uppercase, and the font weight, it should be I've targeted 600, I think, and the color is gonna be white. Letter spacing, it's gonna be 1 pixel. Save it, move on to the browser. Yes, but there must be a problem somewhere. Let me check. Okay, we do have heading 2, we don't have heading 6. Here is an error of heading 6 because we have heading 2. Okay, so now you guys can see that it is. Let me refresh the page. Heading 2 is so small. Not. Let's fix the things and see how does it look. Main banner caption. Yep, and heading 2. And font size is 15 pixels, so I don't want it to be 15 pixel actually. Okay, let's go with this right now. We'll fix it. Let me check some other things, then we'll fix this issue if it remains an issue. The margin top is gonna be, hold on just a minute, I think I've made a mistake here. Okay, after having this main banner caption, let's use the main banner and caption and heading 2, where we are going to use the margin top as 20 pixels, and we do need the margin bottom 20 pixel too. So let me add it here. So it's gonna be margin bottom, it's gonna be 20 pixels too. Let's use the text transformation and text transform uppercase. I would like to go with some different font weight. It's gonna be 500, and we do need to change the color. This should be white. Letter spacing is gonna be 1 pixel. Save it, move on to the browser. Okay, it's looking good. Now let's move on, and let's use the main banner and caption, heading 2, emphasize the font style. I don't think I need this. Hold on, I just want to keep it simple. Let's keep it simple. Let's work with after having this main caption, this caption heading 2, let's target the P element, the paragraph element. So we should say main banner and the caption, and we have a P element. And here what do we need? It's a color. Color is gonna be white. Let's use the font size and 14 pixels. The max width of this one is gonna be 570 pixels. Save it. Move on to the browser. Okay, now it's looking good. Before it was just there. Let me show you that. What if we don't use this? So you can see the text, it doesn't look good. Just put it here, save it. Now it's looking cool. The next thing we need to do is some media query, and for that what do we need is add media screen, and the max width is gonna be 767 pixels. Main banner and caption, heading 2, we should say font size 30, I think let's go with 32 pixels. Move on to the browser. Here is the okay, that's looking good. It's looking cool. While here I have noticed it is more bold. Plus I've noticed something else, which is, yeah, it was just it's because here I've used the same font size 36, so it's touching the screen from this side, like it's very close to this edge. I don't want this here, so I want to keep it I want to keep some distance or some space here, so that's why I have used the font size 32 pixels here. Oh, it's looking cool. That's good. Okay, let's close this one and this one too, and we do need to move on to the next section. The next section is about the packages, and here the packages are, and yes, all the images I have used here I've got from pexels.com. okay, and for the next section the images, I do have an images folder now within this main folder, like Bootstrap 5 tourism folder. I do have the images folder now because we need to use the images here. And all these images, I'm gonna give the links of these images in the description below. Please check that. Now let's move on and start working with the popular places section. So our popular tourism section, so popular places, and let's say end of the popular places. Let's use the section element here, where we do need to add a class of packages, and it's packages. Okay, then within this I would like to go with a div, assigning it a class. This class is gonna be container, and let's use the div here. This div should have a class. This class is gonna be raw, and another div class is gonna be column large 12, defining the grid here, and div assigning it a class. This class is gonna be section heading and heading 2. Heading 2 should have a class text white, font weight bold, and let's say our packages, the packages this company is offering. Save it here. Okay, after having this, let's have another div assigning it a class. It's gonna be column LG4 and div having a class of categories, and we do need heading 4. This heading 4, let's use some lorem categories. And okay, what is this? This is, we are working for defining the HTML for this section. Okay, sorry, this section for this card. Okay, this one, and not here, sorry, it has to be here. Okay, lorem categories. Then let's use the unordered list here, UL. Within that, let's go with the list items, some links, and then within that, we do need some lorem ipsum, and it should be of 5 words. 4 words would be enough, I think. Sorry. Within this unordered list, let's have a list items and an anchor tag where we do need that we need to define some links here, and sorry, here the next thing we need to do is to have a button here, and let's say div, the class is gonna be main button. We already have done the styling of this button, so we don't need to do that. And after having this, let's use the class is gonna be text white, and we should say more packages and promotions. Save it. Okay, you can see it's here. What next we need is these other so what next do we need is to create these cards, this section and these cards. So for that, what we have to do, we just need to add a div here assigning it a class. This class is gonna be column large 8, and div is gonna be class, it has to be raw, and div should have a class. This is gonna be column LG6, and div should have a class of package description. Then let's use another div. It should have a class, and this class is gonna be thumb. And after having this thumb, let's use some other div. This div should have a class, and this class is gonna be price. And let's use a span element here. Here within this span element, let's use $250. Then after this, let's use an image here, and here we have to, the image is gonna be img. Let's use the image here, image source, and assign it a class. The class is gonna be image fluid to make it responsive, and we do need the image source and image. I do have a folder here, images, and the image name is image1. The extension of the image is jpg. Save it. And for having some alternative description, if you want to have, if you have to write something, please go ahead and do. I'm not doing this right now, but it's good. It's a good SEO practice. Okay, so we do have an image here with some amount, and now what we have to do, we need to create something else. That something else we need to create is div class. This class is gonna be down content, the content which is written below, and div class is gonna be deal. And we do need a heading 6 here, and let's have a class. This class is gonna be text dark, font weight bold, and let's say off. I would like to use a span element here, 10%. Save it. And we do need a link here. Here is gonna be href, and let's add a link here. It's gonna be heading 4. Heading 4 should have in nature views. Save it. Then we do need another element, which would be p element, and within this let's use some lorem text, and then after let's use a break and have some other text which is also gonna be lorem ipsum. Save it. And I just want to check something here. Okay. First of all, let me show you what's going on here, and then we'll move on. Here we do have the detailed description, everything. What I'm gonna do now, I just wanna copy it. Let me, just for convenience purpose, I just want to put it here, and okay, let's copy and paste it for several times. Copy, Let me paste it here, save it, let's check. Okay, let's do another one. There must be a problem in the live reloading. Let me check. Okay, fine. Let's have another one too, and it's gonna be here. Cool. Let's change the images and some of the other stuff. So here I have to be, where's the first one? This is the image 1, and let's go to the image 2. It should be museum or historical places, and the image should have okay. Let's add image 2 here, save it. It will need to views, fine. Then we do need to have something else. Let's not change the text and other things, because I'm thinking that it's gonna too much time. It's gonna take too much time. So let's keep it simple, only by changing the images. Okay, and cool, fine. Everything is looking good. Now what we have to do next is to style it. So for that, let's go to the CSS and start working on the style. Okay, now let's start working with the popular places section. So let's start with the comments, popular places, and here we go. So first of all, we would like to go with the packages. We check the class again. So it is packages. Okay, packages, and yes, I have copied the images folder from my old folder, and this one in Bootstrap 5 Tourism. So packages, let's add the background here. The background is gonna be URL, and the URL is in the images folder. Image name is image1gpg. Let's add the background position. Background position is gonna be center, and background attachment. Attachment is gonna be let's add a background attachment, and it's gonna be fixed. Let's add background repeat. Background repeat, I should be no repeat. Background size, let's add color, and padding top, this should be 230 pixels. Let's add padding bottom 2, and this is gonna be 110 pixels. Okay, let's go to the browser and see how does it look. So here we are. I have used a different kind of image there. Let me change this image because here I have used this black image, and let me change this image 1 img1. Why do I have this one? Which one is this? Let me check. Yeah, I think it should be, oh, it's a package.jpg, I think. Sorry, let me check. Yep, let's replace the image. It's not image one, it's package. Okay, save it, move on to the browser. I want to have the same field as I have in the demo web page. So okay, here is the background image. Now what we have to do, let's work with this section first. Okay, so first of all, let's go with the section heading, and the text align is gonna be center. Save it, and we refresh it, and here we go. It is in the center. Now what we need next is packages category. So let's go with the categories section, and the background is gonna be white. Let's use the border radius, and it should be 20 pixels. Let's use the padding. Padding is gonna be 40 pixels, and margin right, this should be 45 pixels. Good. Move on. Let me refresh it. Okay, cool. Still need to work. Now let's use the categories heading 4, and let's add the font size. This could be 18 pixels, and color is gonna be 1F272B. Margin bottom is gonna be 30 pixels, and padding bottom, this is gonna be 20 pixels. Border bottom, 1 pixel solid white. Save it. Let me close this one. Okay, and okay. So the next we do need is, let's add some font weight, and here font weight, this should be 500. Categories heading 4, lorem categories, and these are the lorem categories. Okay, go back and let's do something else. Something else is gonna be, let's target these lists, okay, these unordered lists. And for getting these unordered lists, we need to call the categories class with unordered list and list item. We need to display an inline block. Then we need a margin bottom. This is gonna be 15 pixels. Save it. And cool. What else? And if we add something for hover for the link, let's add something for the link, okay? And for having that, let me get this, copy this, paste it here, anchor tag, and a link, and let's go to the font size. It's gonna be 15 pixel. We add the color and 1F272B. Font weight, it should be 500. Let's add the transition here. The transition is gonna be all 0.3 seconds. The next thing we need again is it should be a package description. So package description, and it's a package description. Package description. Let's say margin bottom. Margin bottom is gonna be 30 pixels. Save it. Go on to the browser. Let me refresh it. Okay. Let it go. Fine. We check something. Okay. And now we have to work with this package description. We have just added the margin bottom of 30 pixels. The next thing we need is, let's work with the thumb. So package description and thumb. Position is gonna be relative. Save it. And after having this package description thumb image, img, it's a thumb, hold on, okay, thumb image, this one is gonna be border top right radius, it's gonna be 20 pixels. Then we need to add a border top left radius. It's also gonna be 20 pixels. Save it. Move on to the browser. Let me refresh it. My live server isn't working. I don't know the reason. Okay. You can see the rounded borders of 20 pixels. Okay. The next thing we need is the price class for the package, and it's a package description. Package description. We're gonna use the price thumb, and the next class we have to target is a price where we need position absolute. We do need to add a 20 pixel from left, and top is also gonna be 20 pixels. Save it. Moving on, refresh it, and here are the prices. Okay, the next thing we need after having the prices, the span element. And what I'm gonna do, I just want to copy this class, let me paste it here, and let's say span. For this we need the font size of 16 pixels, and the color is gonna be 1F272B. We need a background color. Background color is gonna be RGBA, and let me add 250 and 250 and 250 and then 0.9. Cool. Let's use the padding. Padding is gonna be 7 pixels and 12 pixels. Border radius, this is gonna be 10 pixels. Save it. Move on to the browser. Okay, after refreshing this, fine, looking good. The next thing we need to work on is this description content, down content. So for this, what I'm gonna do, let me have the package description down content, and here first of all let's go with a background color. It's gonna be white. Then we need the padding. This should be 30 pixels. We also need the bottom right radius. This is gonna be 20 pixels. And again, bottom, here we need left radius, and this is also gonna be at 20 pixels. Save it, browser, refresh it. Good. What else we need more is the deal. Okay, so package description, and down content. Then the class we are targeting is deal class. Here let's say text align, center, display inline block, margin right, it's right, not left. Margin right is margin right, and margin right is gonna be 20 pixels. Save it, Moving on to the browser. Okay, and if I use something which is float left, let me check how does it look, how it works. I'm gonna remove this float left. I don't need it. Sorry. Hold on. I'm gonna remove this float left. I don't need it right now. I was just checking something. Okay. So after having this text align as center and displays inline block, what I'm gonna do is let me copy this same thing from there, add it here, heading 6, and let's add the font size here. This font size is gonna be 13 pixels. Then text transform uppercase, and color is gonna be A1 to C to F. Okay, let's save it. Moving on to the browser, refresh. Let me remove this one because I have mentioned text dark there, so I don't need that here. And I also want to remove this font size. Let's save it. Let me check how does it look now. And again, I need to refresh it. Yeah, it's looking better than before. And let's stick with this. Go with this. Again, I just want to target the span element here, where I would just say that display is gonna be block, and yep, here I want to define the color. Here I want to define the color. Let's define the color here. Color is gonna be 1F272B, and the font size, margin top. Let's use the margin top. Let's add it for 7 pixels. Save it. Moving on to the browser. Let me refresh the page. Okay, now it's looking good. No need to. Now it's looking better. Great. Next thing we need to do is, let me bring it here and content down. Down content. Heading 4. I just wanted to target the heading 4. Here, heading 4. The heading 4 color is gonna be 1F272B, and display is gonna be inline block. Let's use the margin bottom. The margin bottom is gonna be 15 pixels. Save it. And I do need to add another thing, down content P element. This P element is going to be margin left 50 pixels. Has to be. Let me check something. Okay, 50 pixels. And let's add a color here. It's gonna be 1F272B. Font size, this should be 14 pixels. Save it. Move on to the browser. Where? Let's check. Okay, everything is looking good. You guys can see we have done with our packages section. If you want to check it on our responsive later on, let's move on to the next section and then we will check it all, everything all together. Okay, so for that, what we have to do, let's go to the services section and start working on the services section. Okay, so let's move on to the index.html page, and here let's begin with the services section and services section. End of the services section. What we have to do now, let's have a div here, assign it a class, and this class is gonna be card1 background image, and let's have an ID, and this ID is gonna be, oh my gosh, let's have an ID, and this ID is gonna be services. Within this, let's have an ID, another ID, add a class, container, a div, class is gonna be raw. Let's have another div, assigning it a class. It's gonna be column, large 5. After having this, let's go with another div, assigning it a class. This is gonna be text container. So text container. Let's have a heading 2 here with a class of text white, font weight bold. The services that we offer. Let's no need to add such a big statement. Our services, and let's close the heading 2. After having this one, let's go with the p element, assigning it a class. This class is gonna be text white, and let's go with some lorem ipsum of 15 words. Again, I do need another p element, and I just want to copy and paste it, and I want to remove some of these words. Then after, we need to add a unordered list with a class, and this class is gonna be list unstyled, and list item space large. Let's add a list element, list item. The class is gonna be flex, and it should be display flex. After having this flex, let's use it for some icon class, and we have to say FESFE square and text white. Then we need another div with a class of flex group 1 text white, and let's go with some text of 5 words. After this, I just want to copy and paste it for several times, and what I'm thinking to do is just to get it from here, copy this, paste it here, here, and here. Let's save it. Move on to the browser 1, 2, and 3, and 3, and here we go. Okay, so we cannot see anything. We need a background image, and for that, what I'm thinking to do, we should add a background image. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, but just for just to show you guys, if I highlight it here, you can see we do have a text here and some P element. These are the list items down below. These are the P elements, and here is the title. Okay, let's add some these cards, and this section is made by using cards. So let's add this one, and then we can style it. So for adding this one, what we need is to, just for the convenience, just to avoid the mistakes, I'm using this one, this line here, or a partition, you can see, and this is the end of the text container. I want to add it here. This should be here. Okay, for having this, let's add a div with a class, and the class is gonna be column and LG7. Then we need another div. Class is gonna be card container, and let's start working with the cards here. Okay, so this is gonna be a div class card and a div class card icon and a span element with a class of FA utensils. Span is closed, div is closed, and after having this, let's have another div. This div should have a class of card body, and we should add heading 5 within this with a class. This class is gonna be card title, and the text again is gonna be white. Let's add best food from the place. Okay, I know it doesn't make sense, but right now we should go with this one. Let's end it here, and end this card here, and we can only see that funnel is awesome icons here, the utensils icon. There is a thin border line here, and best food from the place. The next we need is what I'm thinking. Let me copy this one from here. Let's paste it here, save it. Let me check the second one, and we need to add a ship here. Okay, and this is gonna be a ship. Save it. Cruise ship. I have made a mistake. I need to copy it. No, it's fine. Sorry, the ship is same. I was thinking I need to copy the code from font awesome icon, but it's fine. It's a ship, FASFA ship, and here we should add another title, cruise ship tour. Then we need to add another one. Here we need to add FASFA store, and this should be a shopping malls. Let's have another one. This is gonna be visit to landmarks, visit to landmarks, and the icon for this is gonna be monument. The next we need is to add the icon is gonna be bus, and let's add the title here. It's gonna be city tours. This one is this one could be a 7-star hotels stay, and here we should use FASFA hotel. Save it, move on to the browser. Okay, so we do have the icons. Now let's go to the CSS and start styling this section. Okay, so here is our CSS, and let's say, what is the name of this section? Services. Okay, so the services section, first of all, it has a background image. Let's use the background image URL images. The image is gonna be service.jpg. Let's use the background position here. Center, background attachment. Attachment is gonna be fixed. Background repeat, no repeat. Background size, cover, padding top. Padding top is gonna be 230 pixels, and padding bottom we gonna use 110 pixels. Save it, move on to the browser, and okay, we do have a nice image here. Cool, but we do need an overlay here. It's not going to be too dark, but I just use that overlay. So background image overlay, position is really absolute. We need a background color, RGBA 32, 32, 32, and 0.7.
Choose the top. Top is gonna be 0. Left is also gonna be 0. Bottom also 0. Right 0. Width is gonna be 100%. Save it. Bring it here. Now let's target the class cards1, where we do need to add a padding top, and in this section I have used the rems, so I'm gonna use 9.5 rem. Let's use the padding bottom, and it's gonna be 5.5 rem. Let's use the card 1 heading 2, and the margin bottom for this one is gonna be 1.75 rem. Then we need the cards 1 text container, where we are going to use in this one we are going to use a margin bottom 5 rem. Save it. Let's move on to the browser. Here we are. Okay, things are working. What else we need? We do need to target those list items and the unordered list. So card 1, and we do have a list unstyled. Margin top is gonna be 1.5 rem. Now let's target those squares. So for this I just wanna copy this, pasting it here. I need to add some space here, and I think styled. Let me check the spelling of my margin top is 1.5 rem, and in other we do have a unstyled. Okay, so cards list unstyled FES. We do need to target the font awesome icon class here, and what I need to add here is the color. I'm gonna add is white, and the font size is gonna be 0.375 rem. Line height is gonna be 1.625 rem.
Okay, now let's start working with this section, with these cards. So for that, let's move on to the editor, and let's start styling this one. It is card container, and let's use the text align, and center. It should be center. Then let's use the card class, and it is a class. Here we need to add display inline block, margin right, and here I'm using the rems, so rem, margin right 1.5 rem, margin bottom is gonna be 3.75 rem. Then let's use margin left, and margin left is gonna be 1.5 rem. Let's use the width, and it should be 150 pixels. Let's use border. Border is gonna be none. Background color, and it is background color. It's gonna be transparent. Text align center, and vertical align top. Save it. Move on to the browser. Let me refresh the page. Okay, so it is looking nice. Let's add some more styles to this. So let's use a card icon, and the card icon is gonna be, it's a class, okay? The width for this is 90 pixels. Height is also 90 pixels. Margin right is gonna be auto. Margin bottom 1.5 rem. Margin left is also gonna be auto, and border radius is 50%. Background color is black, and text align center. Save it. Move on to the browser. Refresh the page. Okay, good. Now let's work with these. Let's start working with these icons. And for that, what we're gonna do is, let's say card is a class of card icon, and FES. Here we have to say the color is gonna be white, and margin left would be 2 rem. Color is gonna be I've done the color. Font size would be 3.75 rem. Let's save it, move on to the browser, and see how does it look. Let me refresh it. I don't know how it's not getting it again. So this is the services section, and it's looking good. There must be some problem with this, with the text. So with the title, let's go and check this one, and here let's go with the card title, and padding is gonna be 0. Save it. Let's see. Okay, now let's check the responsiveness of this. We have done with this one, and here is, so let's start from top, and yep, everything is looking nice. Stacked nicely, and it's looking good. Cool. Okay, now let's start creating this carousel, and it's working. So here in our text editor, I am thinking to start it from after the services section, testimonial, and end of the testimonial. Let's have a section element here. Assign it a class. This class is gonna be padding top and bottom 7. Then BG class, and then after this, let's have a div. Assign it a class. This class is gonna be container fluid. Let's use another div. Assigning it a class, and it should be raw flex setter. Then we have to use another div, assigning it a class, and it has to be column medium 8 and column LG5, text center, heading 2, and let's assign it a class. This class is going to be text white and font weight bold. Let's have a title, our happy clients. Then after this, let's create a div, assign it a class, and it should be carousel, carousel slide, padding top 6. ID is gonna be carousel example dark, and then we need a data write. B is data write actually. Sorry, data bootstrap write, and let's say carousel. Okay, spelling of carousel. Fine. Let me bring it here in the middle. Let's have another div, assign it a class. This class is going to be carousel inner, then another div, have another class, carousel item active, data bootstrap interval, and this is the time, 10,000. Then let's have another div, assign it a class. This is gonna be raw, heading 100. Another div, assign it a class. Column medium 4 and margin bottom 3. Then margin bottom, and for the medium devices it's gonna be 0.
Then we have to go with another div, assign it a class, and this is gonna be card, and each is gonna be 100. Card span padding 3 with another div and a class card body heading 5. Class is gonna be margin bottom 0, text white, and fantastic service. Let's have a p element, assign it a class, and this class is gonna have some card text padding top 3, text gonna be white, close it. Let's have some text of 15 words, fine. And after this, let's have another div. This div should have a class of display extra large flags, then justify content between and align items center. Another div, assign it a class, display flags, align items center. Let's use an image, and I should have a class of image fluid. Then we need an image, and I do have an avatar, so images, and the image name is avatar.png. PNG is the extension of my image, and alt is gonna be 3 dots, right now nothing, and okay. And then we need another div here. So this div should have a class of flex 1, and margin small is gonna be 3. Then we do need a heading 6 here. Let's say class, and this class is gonna be margin bottom 0 and fs1, then text 1000, and font weight medium, text white, close it. Let's add here John Smith, save it. Okay, let's see what's going on in the browser. And here in the browser we can just see the avatar, and something goes wrong. And what is that something which goes wrong? I found it while I was working with this section. We have used the card here, the card text, card body, card, and what happened that CSS classes from here, from these cards, are got by this section. Okay, so what we can do just to fix this issue, first of all, let me add some CSS, then it will be easy to make you understand what happens and where is the mistake. Here is the main.css, and let me go with that testimonial. Not this, and here in the testimonial, look at this. Let's start working with the BG class here, and the BG class we have, let's add the background image. Here we do have a URL, images, and the image I have used is called test.jpg. Then we need a background position, and it's gonna be center. Let's use background attachment, and it will be fixed. Then we should use a background repeat. Background repeat is gonna be no repeat, not calc. Background repeat is no repeat. Let's use background size, and the size is gonna be cover. Padding top is 230 pixels, and padding bottom 110 pixels. Now what I'm going to do, let me get the card class, and the background color for this RGBA 32, 32, 32, and 0.7. Let's use the carousel. Position is gonna be relative. Carousel inner is gonna be, it should have a position. Position is gonna be relative. Width of this is 100%. Overflow hidden. Now let's use again the same class, carousel inner, and the pseudo element. After display block, clear both, and content is gonna be nothing. Let's use the carousel item here, and position is gonna be relative. Display none, and float left. Width is gonna be 100%, margin right minus 100%, backface visibility hidden, transition transform 0.6 seconds, is in out, save it, move on to the browser. Okay, here I found a problem. Let me show you, let me explain where the problem occurs, and look at this service section 2. So the style I'm applying here in this section is also working in this section 2, which isn't my plan, or which isn't, I don't want to have this. So to avoid this one and to make them separate, what I'm gonna do, let me show you. Let's go to the services section here, and I just want to add the parent class or the main class of this, which was cards1. Okay, so I'm gonna add this cards1 with all the services classes, because we have used the card here and we have used the card below too in the carousel. That's why it is interrupting, the design is interrupting. So let me select this one, this card. I'm pressing the Alt, this card, this one, and this one, and now I'm just gonna add it, cards1 space error. Let me go back, and I don't need to refresh it, but it is working without refreshing. So you can see it sets itself, like while adding, because I've mentioned the design, or I've mentioned to the browser that this isn't the part of this one. Now it is keeping them separate. So this is what we are creating in client section, and this is what we have done before, but the class name was same, and that is why they were interrupting with the design. It was just getting messy. Now everything is gonna be fine. Let's complete this CSS, and what I'm gonna do, let me show you. I just want to copy and paste it for a couple of times, just for my convenience, to keep the things clean and to avoid for coding. So I just want to copy this one. I want to copy it. Okay, and let me paste it here. Save it. Let me check. Okay, so let's save it, and let's see. We do have these three cards. Now we need 3 more. So for having those 3, what we're gonna do, let's create another div here, assign it a class. This class is gonna be carousel item, and data bootstrap interval, and this is gonna be 2000. Let's have another div, assigning it a class. This class is gonna be raw, and height is gonna be 100. Then we do need another div, assigning it a class, and let me do div and a class, and this class is gonna be column medium 4 and margin bottom 3, then margin bottom and for medium devices is gonna be 0. Then we do need another div assigning it a class, and this class is gonna be card. Again, height should be 100, card span, and padding 3. Let's have another div assigning it a class, and this class is gonna be card body. Then heading 5, class is gonna be margin bottom 0, and text gonna be white. Then we have to say again fantastic service. After having this, let's go with a p element, assigning it a class. This class is gonna be card text, and padding top would be 3, text white, some text of 15 words. Let's have another div element assigning it a class. This class is display extra large flex, justify content between, and align items center. Then after this, we do need another div assigning it a class. This is gonna be display flex, align items center, Then we do need an image here, and for that image class, the class is gonna be image fluid. Let's use the source is gonna be images, and image is avatar png, not mg, png, and then after some alt text, and that's all. We also need another div with a class of flex, and flex1 ms3, heading 6, class is gonna be margin bottom 0, and f is font size 1. Then we do need the text here, and text is gonna be 1000, font weight would be medium, and text gonna be white, and let's again go with John Smith. Save it, and after saving it, let's go to the browser. Okay, so we cannot see that one. For that, what we have to do next is let's copy and paste the same code again. So here is the what I have to do is to copy and paste the code. So what I'm doing here, let me get it from here, and it's margin bottom medium 0, and let me copy this one and paste it for a couple of times. Okay, so we do have this for 6 times. Now what next we need? We need the indicators. Okay, so let's add the indicators here. For the carousel indicators, div class is gonna be raw, padding left and right gonna be 3, padding left and right for medium devices is gonna be 0, and margin top would be 6. Then we need a div assigning it a class, column 12, position relative, ordered list with a class of carousel indicators. Within this, let's go with a list item, and a class is gonna be active, data, bootstrap, data, bootstrap, target, and we do need to use the ID carousel dark carousel example dark. Then we need again data bootstrap slide to data bootstrap slide to 0. Okay, list item is closed. The next we need is, let me copy this one. I'm gonna paste it here. So let's paste it here for 2 times, and I need to change this active class. I don't have to use any active class here, and this one also, it's only the list item, and this should be 1 and this should be 2. Save it, move on to the browser. Okay, so we do have the indicators. Okay, so I have just used here the 6 images. The carousel is working, it's looking cool, nice. If you check it on that responsive screen, or on our mobile screen, let's see. Okay, it's working, it's looking nice. Let's move on to the next section. The next section we are going to work is a contact form, and I'm gonna create all these 3 parts together in HTML, and then design it all together. Okay, so let's move on to the index.html. We are here. Let's start creating the next section, which is contact form. Let's start a section element. Started with a section element. Class is gonna be contact, and after, let's have another div assigning it a class. This is gonna be container fluid. Let's have a row here. Okay, let's have another class assigning it a class, another div. The class is gonna be row, and justify content center. Then we need another div assigning it a class, column medium 6 and column large 5, and then column extra large 4. Then let's have a heading 5 here. The class is gonna be text white and font weight bold. Font weight bold. Then we need what else? Okay, request a callback. So request a callback. Let's have a heading 2 here. Class is gonna be text white and eight words are enough, or 5 words, I think enough. Okay. Then after this we do need a p element assigning it a class. This class is gonna be again text white. Should say Monday to Friday and 9 a.m. to Friday spellings. Sorry, Friday, and it should say 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Then after this, let's use another div, and this div should have a class of column medium 6, column large 5, and column extra large 4. Then within this we need a form element, assigning it a class. It's gonna be raw. The next we need is another div, assigning it a class, and it should be margin bottom 3. Margin bottom 3. Then we need a label element, assigning it a class, form label, visually hidden. For input name, let's have a name here. After this, let's go with the input element, and we should say class form control and ID, input name, type is gonna be text, and we should say placeholder, it's gonna be name. Let me save it. Let's check what's going on. Not this one. Actually the text is white. I don't think we can see anything. Only we can see name only. Okay, fine. Okay. Then after this, let's go and have another div. This div should have a class. This class is gonna be margin bottom 3. Label, class form label visually hidden. For input email, it's gonna be input email. Let's just say another label. Let's have an input here, assigning it a class. This class is gonna be form control, and ID is again input email. Type is gonna be email, and the placeholder, we are adding the placeholder is also email. Then after this, let's have another div for the text messages, and assigning it a class. It's gonna be margin bottom 5, and let me get the label and all these things from here. I need to change it from here. I've got the label from there, but in this label I should add a here the for is gonna be validation text area. So validation text area, and here it should be message. Okay, then let's create a text area here. So text area should have a class of form control is invalid, border 400. Let's use an ID here, validation text area, placeholder is gonna be message. Let me use some style here. Height is gonna be 150 pixels. Then let's say required, and required is also equal to required. Close in the text area. Save it. The next we need a submit button. So for having this, let's go to the div, assigning it a class, display grid. Let's have a button element here, assigning it a class. It's gonna be btn light. Type would be submit, and here it should say send message. And with this, I would like to go with a font awesome icon, paper plain. And this is done. Let's move on to the browser and see. Okay, we have many things. We have some better things. Now here, let's create this what we can say social for this section for the social icons and footer, and all together we will style them. The next is gonna be footer, and footer is I have want to comment it, but I'll leave it like this. No name. Div class is gonna be footer. Let me create another section actually. Wrap it into that section. Okay. And close this div. So let's have another div, assigning it a class. It's gonna be container fluid div class should be raw div class column large 12, heading 4, class is gonna be text white, and let's go with some text. Let's have another div, assigning it a class, and social container. Let's go with the span element. And this span element should have a class. The class is gonna be FA stack, and let's have a, if you let me give a link here, but I don't want to go with a link, just a class. The class is gonna be FA circle, FA stack 2 times. I've explained everything. It means 2 times bigger than its actual size. What I'm gonna do, I just want to copy this one. Oops, copied it. Let me paste it here. And here I should go FAB, FA, Facebook, and this time I should add a 1 times FA stack. Okay, the next I need, again, I just want to copy this span element. Let me copy this. Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, and YouTube. Save it, and I just want to change them. So Facebook, let's change it into Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, and YouTube. Save it. Move on to the browser. Okay, we do have something here. Then after this, what's next? Okay, we do have this last this section. So let's go and create this one. So after this, let's have another div, assigning it a class, copyright, pg dark, have a div here. This div is with a class of container fluid. Then let me create another div also. Close that div. Now we need another div with a class of raw, another div, assigning it a class, this is gonna be column lg6. Let's have unordered list, assigning it a class, and list unstyled, then list item space large padding small. Let me have a list item here, and within this href, let's assign it a class, and this class is gonna be text white, font weight bold, and let's say articles details. Now I wanna copy this and I want to paste it for a couple of times with this. Here it should be a lorem ipsum 1, and or just let it be like this. Then the next we need is another div here, assigning it a class, column lg3, p element, assigning it a class, p small, and statement text is gonna be white. What I'm thinking to do, let's just go with a lorem ipsum and that's all. Save it. Let me add another div here, assigning it a class, and it should be p small, statement text white, and made by, then we what is this? Made by, and let's add a link here. Or no need to add a link, you guys can go and add a link. Just made by lorem ipsum. Save it, move on to the browser. Here is the Okay, now let's start styling this these all three sections all together. So we are going to our CSS. Here let's add the contact class, and you know what I'm thinking, let me get all the properties from here. I want to paste them here just to save our time. I just want to change the image here, contact image. Let's go and use the form control here. Border 1 pixel solid RGBA 146, 145, 161, 0.5. That's all. Border radius it's gonna be 0.313 rem. Let's use the background color. Background color is gonna be transparent. Padding would be 0.5 rem and 0.5 rem. Let's use the border color here, and the border color is gonna be white here too. Let's save it, move on to the browser and see some of the styles. Wow, it's not looking good, this one, you know. I should change the border radius. I don't have to use the border radius. Leave it. Save it. Okay, it's looking good now. The next we need is, what is that? Okay, it's a form is invalid and form control. So form control and then is invalid and form control invalid. Border color gonna be white. Before I was thinking to use focus, but I am running out of time, so I don't want to use that. Label is, I'm gonna go with the form label, the margin bottom, and it's gonna be 1.25 rem. Color would be 9291A1. Cool. Let's go and see. Okay, fine, good. Let's work with this section now. Here we are, and the footer, I'm pasting all those the same code, and here I just use the foot JPG image, save it. Okay, so here is the image. For the next thing is, again, footer position is gonna be relative padding top 7.5 rem, padding bottom 6 rem, text align center, footer and decoration circles, not this one, sorry, like I named it stack, not that. So it's not a decoration circle, it's a footer and let me add it. Sorry, footer FA stack, width is gonna be 2 EM and margin bottom 1.25 REM, margin right is gonna be 0.375 REM, and that's all. Save it. Let's see. Okay. Let me copy this one, paste it here, FA stack, and the thing we have mentioned. First of all, let's get the 2 times, and here the color is gonna be white, transition all 0.2 seconds ease, and stack 1 times. Let's get the color, sorry, it should be black, and transition here gonna be all 0.2 seconds ease. Save it. I'm not adding the hover thing, but here I'm not adding, but I think I will provide all the code to you guys. Please check the link in the description below for code. And let's go with the copyright because I'm running out of time, and it's the dogs, they just sit quiet nicely now. They are not barking, and before they start I want to finish it. Oh my god, let me give the hover also. Okay, leave the hover, you guys can add it please. Copyright padding top 1.75 rem, border top 1 pixel, solid, and D0 DE2, text align center, and copyright link, and gonna be text. I think I haven't added the link. Yeah, I remember, right now I just changed my mind and I haven't added any link here. Yep, so let's go with something else. So copyright list unstyled, and then copyright I have actually quit many things, so opacity is gonna be 0.7, and the next is list unstyled. Copy this, put it here. Let's write margin bottom 0.75 rem. Save it. Okay, so yeah, these links, we can say text decoration none. Let me add it for you guys. Let me say copyright link and text decoration none. Good. Okay, so you guys can see that we have created a very nice landing page in Bootstrap 5. We have used a lot of CSS, but it's good, it's cool. Let me show you the responsiveness of this one, and after that I must say bye to you guys, because it's I think the video it took too much time. So you can see everything stacked nicely on top of each other, and from now on I am going to start some JavaScript and Angular and React projects. Okay, so don't go anywhere. We will start the new series of Angular, React and some JavaScript. I'll see you in the next one. Hasta la vista. Ciao ciao.